Hi everyone. I hear that a lot of you are talking about this musical about a political leader who was popular, outspoken, and died way too early. But get this. The story is told entirely in modern music, from the point of view of someone that does not share the ideals of the main character. I'm of course talking about Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's Evita. Wait, you guys aren't obsessed about Evita? What are you... Oh... What's that?
Hey, I guess everyone and their mother is talking about this musical called Hamilton, about the first Treasury Secretary of the United States, Alexander Hamilton. I, like everyone else in the world, love the musical, its score, and above all, the references to other artists. Everyone in the theater community are talking about this show and how it makes references to contemporary music, hip-hop, and rap ranging from Beyonce to Biggie Smalls to Eminem. However, I don't think there's enough credit to the show paying tribute to other musicals. Therefore, allow me to count down in no particular order 6 times Hamilton references other musicals of the past. This can range from referential lines to the show style entirely. Let us start. This show pays tribute to 2 of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's musicals, Jesus Christ Superstar and Evita. The reference being the form of storytelling. The man who inevitably shoots our hero, Aaron Burr, narrates the musical, despite disagreeing with nearly every action that our protagonist, Alexander Hamilton, commits. Burr thinks Hamilton's crass actions and overzealous speaking is dangerous and the incorrect way to approach politics, because once something is said, you cannot go back and change your story. This is paying tribute to Shay from Evita, critiquing the politics of Eva Peron while telling her story, and Judas Iscariot telling the story of Jesus while claiming that his actions will cause his people to be killed.
A rather stretched idea, possibly not as arguable as others, but let's see what else this list has to offer.
Who doesn't love a good Gilbert and Sullivan reference? Really? Nobody? During George Washington's intro song, Right Hand Man, he makes this claim.
Second, now I'm the model of a modern major general, the venerated Virginian veteran whose men are all lining up.
Which ties directly to...
I am the very model of a modern major general, life information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the Pike's historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical.
It's a blatant and quite appropriate reference, since we know the patter songs of Gilbert and Sullivan also have its own connection to modern speed rap, and also makes us theater nerds really happy inside to hear it. This cannot be a musical about early American history without at least a passing reference to the original American history musical, Sherman Edwards' 1776. In real history, Alexander Hamilton had quite a large rivalry between President John Adams, another outspoken American figure. In 1776, when John Adams tries to convince the delegates of the Second Continental Congress to embrace independence, they reply with, "Sound John! Sound John! Sound John!" In Hamilton, when Alexander writes openly of his hatred for Adams, he pays tribute to this musical and takes it a step further by screaming out,
Sit down, John, you fat mother.
This is a really cool callback to another historical musical, and it also serves Hamilton's character perfectly. My personal favorite song in Hamilton is Say No to This, because it's not only a smooth, sleazy Marvin Gaye style song, but it also is a self-contained scene explaining in concise detail all the dark secrets of Alexander Hamilton's adultery. I'm in awe every time I listen to it, and I wish some footage would be released so I can show you something of it. However, what really sold me on this song are the final words, which pay tribute to another song about adultery, Nobody Needs to Know, from the last 5 years. See this clip from Jason Robert Brown's musical,
Nobody needs to know.
and compare it to this.
Nobody needs to know.
Not only is the line set itself, but following the line, a few violin strings are played to pay tribute to the style Jason Robert Brown had for the last 5 years. It's a real subtle tribute, and I laughed really hard the first time I heard it.
It can be argued that almost every musical within the last 50 years has some certain tribute to pay to Rodgers and Hammerstein. However, one of the most blatant ones can be seen spoken by Aaron Burr. In Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical on love and racial discrimination, South Pacific, the penultimate song is about how racism is not innate in us, but something taught by our elders.
You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late. Before you are 6 or 7 or 8.
Hamilton pays tribute to this in Hamilton's I Want song, My Shot, spoken by our Greek chorus, Aaron Burr, who says,
I'm with you, but the situation is fraught. You've got to be carefully taught. If you talk, you're gonna get shot.
It's a tribute to two men who helped define musicals as the form of entertainment that they are today. A lot of people think that musicals are just classical music with performers singing in their head voice. However, that is a closed-minded way to view such a vast genre as musical theater. Contemporary music has always been prevalent in musicals, redefining what could really be done on a stage. In the 90s, Brent redefined musicals by introducing the music of the MTV generation. The aughts had even more contemporary music introduced into stage performances in things like Next to Normal, Spring Awakening, and American Idiot. I believe that Hamilton is the groundbreaking musical of the 2010s that takes inspiration from modern hip-hop and uses it to tell a story like never before. This is an old idea, made completely new, with society's constant expansion of taste and storytelling.
This is just another bit of proof that art is permanent, due to the fact that it constantly inspires more art, therefore living forever. Hamilton is a show that talks about our own history as a whole, and how it reflects us, whether that's American history, hip-hop history, and of course, musical theater history. Nothing has ever exactly accomplished this in the way that Hamilton has, and I can't wait to see what Hamilton inspires for the future, because it certainly has inspired me in many ways. I'm Jess. Now get out my world.
The wittiest and the gossip in New York City is insidious, and Alexander is penniless. Huh, this doesn't mean I love him any less. Number 2, I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. If I tell her that I love him, she'd be silently resigned. I could make her mine, she would say I'm fine, she'd be lying.